Yay! You want to spend time with me. That's cool because I want to spend time with you. Sorry I ghosted you here on YouTube, but thank you for your patience as I took a extended break to recuperate from the Jingle Ball, to launch a 2024 club, and to dive right into my next virtual event. All during the hardest month of the year for me personally. January is tough, but the horrors persist, and so do I. Things are going great. I feel like I am surrounded by the 12 wonders of the world. I have so much cross-stitch on this table to show you, so buckle your seatbelt. Let's get started. Today's video is going to have a 2023 wrap-up. I know I'm like a month late, but I figured it would still be entertaining, maybe to my, two hardcore fans. So I'm going to show you my finishes last year. We're going to do a WIP parade. I finished something very, very shocking, and I hope you're impressed, but we'll see. What else do we got? I have a few new releases which I will show you very quickly. I'm sure you've probably already seen them, so I won't take up a ton of your time with that. And then we're going to start a new segment called Nashville Shopping List. Lindy Stitches is shopping Nashville Needlework Market. We shopped it last year, albeit on a limited basis. I didn't have a lot of help last year due to unforeseen circumstances, so we didn't hit it really hard. But in 2024, we're going... A phrase came into my mind, but it's just not appropriate. We're going full steam ahead on Nashville 2024. So, if the title of my future videos includes Nashville Shopping List, you know it's a Nashville update. I'm getting all of the emails from the vendors, so I'm going to be showing you all the goods. So, look forward to that at the end of the video, and let's get started. So, Jingle Ball. We won't... is old news now, right? But I would like to just say thank you. Thank you if you just came to shop. Thank you if you came and you had a little conversation with another stitcher. You did the speed dating. Thank you, no matter what capacity you brought to the Jingle Ball. We are so thankful that you came. The feedback form was amazing. So many 5-star ratings of... the fact that you enjoyed it, that you'd like to come again, and you had a good time. It was our pleasure and our excitement to throw that event. Myself and the other 11 designers and the tech team and all of the help that we had for that. We're so thankful that you came, you shopped, you enjoyed, you learned. I'm loving seeing all the Jingle Ball finishes on Flosstube and on Instagram of your Liz Mathews trees and your Kathy Haberman blocks and your Jeanette Douglas sampler, little specialty stitches samplers. It just brings joy to my heart that you came and you had a good time and that we were able to give you a happy little weekend. So thank you for coming to the Jingle Ball. If you enjoyed the ball, you might enjoy our next virtual event, which is called the Superb Owl Stitch-In. Now, there is a famous high-profile February 11th event. If you change the spacing in the words Superb Owl, you might be able to remember what it is. So, we decided we'd throw an event on the biggest sporting event evening of the year. For those of us who would also like to have a nice thing to do and a good excuse to make ourselves delicious snacks. So, it is an owl-themed evening with myself and Kathy Haberman of Hands On Design. If you would like to come to that, I will have the link down below. The ticket price is different than the Jingle Ball because you get 2 exclusive patterns included in the price of your ticket. You will get an owl-themed pattern from me, and one from Kathy. They're both super adorable. We're gonna have different fun activities during the evening, and some of the features of the Jingle Ball, like the WIP speed dating and the stitching tables, those will be happening again. One difference is that there's not a shopping haul, so there's no shopping element to this event. It's just come, enjoy, have a nice little evening in the midst of, if you live in North America, the winter doldrums. Let's cheer each other up and be re-inspired and share a nice evening together. The links for those will be down below. That's all I had for announcements. Let's get into my finish parade first. These are the things that I finished last year. My list is not as impressive for my personal stitching. Just to be clear, this is going to be my personal stitching. It's not going to be my own designs. I have mixed those in from year to year during my WIP parades, but I just thought I would go personal stitching this time. I couldn't drag out all my Lindy Stitches models. I didn't have the heart to go there. So I only had 7 finishes last year that were personal finishes, but there were some really good ones. We'll start off with, I finished Cooper by Kathy Barrick. This has been a long time love of mine, this pattern. I just adore a good parrot, and he is so jaunty and fine. Loved working his tail with those long back stitches over the yellow. This is a very, very enjoyable stitch. I'm going to link all the videos where I talk more in detail about the info on each of these finishes, because right now I simply can't remember thread or fabric details whatsoever. So if you want more information on any of these finishes, the links will be down below. But this is Cooper by Kathy Barrick. Love him. The second finish that I had was Folk House by Notforgotten Farm. Now, I tried to take this off the wall, and it is cemented to the wall, and I can't get it off. Like, literally, I was going to break the paint. I used some sort of poster sticky stuff that my daughter gave me, and I really needed to stick it by the wall because it's right by the door that we constantly go in and out of, and I knew that if I didn't stick that thing to the wall, it was going to fall down, so it's there till I need to paint the kitchen again. But here's what it looks like. This was a super fun stitch. I did customize those cats to look like my own giant cats, Walter and Willoughby. This hangs right by our garage door we go in and out of all the time. It's so fun. It says home to me, and thank you, Lori, for this beautiful design. The third thing that I finished, and these aren't necessarily in order, but I finished Night Before Christmas by the Prairie Schooler. And this was my cough syrup project for quite some time. In other words, I think it was adorable, but I didn't really enjoy taking it or stitching on it. I just wanted the finished project. So I don't know why. It's a mystery. Isn't it a mystery sometimes why sometimes you enjoy things and sometimes you don't? But it was worth it. Look at it. It's absolutely adorable. Love this pattern. This pattern does come with all of these little shapes filled out. So this like isn't the full picture. If you wanted to make ornaments with this pattern, these are all full scenes. So that if you wanted 4 or 5 or 6 ornaments, the pattern is provided for you. But I just wanted to do the sampler. Love this. So classic and adorable. My next finish was Coffee and Eggs. This was a gift, so I don't have it. I will put a picture of my finish on the screen and put a link down below to where you can see the finish, quote-unquote, in person. This is by the Artsy Housewife. It was a delight to stitch. Very, very fun. Enjoyed every minute of it, and my friend loved it as a gift. So that was very gratifying. Might need to stitch it again for myself. Now, there was one finish this year that provoked more YouTube comments than I have ever in the history of my YouTube career, which has now been career. What a dorky word, but in the history of my YouTube career, 9 years, I have never gotten so many comments about a finish of mine, and I finished some really spectacular things. You all lost your marbles over Kitten in a Mitten. I mean, and you're right. Because this is probably my favorite finish of the year too, because you can't even do these things on purpose. So thank you for your enthusiasm. I did finish another Kitten in a Mitten as well as one other ornament, and I took a little video because those are both gone as gifts, and I will insert that video here. I'm going to insert this clip into one of my FLOSSTUBE videos, but I need to get these little gifts off so that they can arrive by Christmas. I worked on finishing my beloved Kitten in a Mitten punch needle, and I have to say finishing the punch needle was different. There was a lot of origami required in tucking everything behind, and I know how to do like curves, kind of the area like between his little ears. I wasn't sure how to make the cuts so that I could properly fold it. So it's not very neat, and I feel like I need someone to show me how to do like more intricate shaping like his ears. However, this has brought me so much joy. I love this finish. So glad to hang it on my tree, which has a lot of other funky ornaments. The funkier the better, in my opinion. Loved doing this. Decided I wanted to punch another cat immediately, and this cat is going off in the mail to someone special. And let's see, did I improve? Maybe a little. Maybe a little. His ears and his head kind of turned out better. Now why, I don't know, because like I said, I was just completely guessing on how this needed to be done. But this is Kitten in a Mitten by Notforgotten Farm, and I want to punch another one. The second ornament that I finished is something that I've had in my stash forever, and I don't know how many times I've pulled it out wanting to stitch it and then didn't. It's so ridiculous. It's an ornament. It took me such a ridiculously short amount of time in comparison to my other projects. This is Delivering Yummies by Homespun Elegance. It's the 2015 Christmas ornament from Homespun Elegance. I adore this pattern and stitched it up, intending it for my tree. But then someone sent me such an extravagant, jaw-dropping, shocking gift, and I just knew that I wasn't stitching this for myself. I was stitching it for her. So here is Delivering Yummies. You can see that I did my own Lindy Stitches favorite colors, but look how adorable that turned out on the mint fabric with the pink. So cute. Stitch that little beard and whisper. I want to stitch it again ASAP. Adorable. My last finish I'm going to talk about a little bit in length because it's kind of a whopper, a big deal. I impressed myself with this finish, and I'm going to talk a little bit longer about this one. So if you lose interest, there are chapters down below if you would like to skip ahead. But I finished my oldest WIP, and the reason it's my oldest WIP is because it's full coverage. Now, as a cross-stitcher, I'm just looking up the date that I started it. As a cross-stitcher, I think that you should go ahead and try every style that you are mildly interested in, because until you try it, you just don't know if you're going to like it. I think everyone should try a full coverage. I think everyone should give maybe a fancy lady a whirl, do something funky from like the 80s or 90s. If it intrigues you, go ahead and try it. You really don't know what you're missing until you're putting those stitches in with your own hands. So this is my actual second full coverage piece. Hold on, I'm gonna go grab my first one. I think this piece is mentioned in one of my first FlosStube videos, which would be back in 2015. So here was my first full coverage project. This is Renoir's painting Dance at Bougival, and who knows if I'm saying that correctly. But I started this piece doing tent stitch on 25 count, even weave. This took me eons. This is an embarrassing chunk of my life. Not embarrassing. I'm gonna make a bookmark out of it one day, but until then it just sits. It got abandoned because I didn't like the focus. Once that lady was in, I just kind of questioned the pattern, like whether it was going to turn out well or not. I also just, I don't know, I wasn't having a ton of fun. So this got abandoned. My husband did end up just buying me a print of, a giant print of this painting by Renoir, and I love it. So that, you know, scratched that itch. But I decided to retry full coverage in 2019 because I fell in love with this image. So really full coverage for me is about the image. It's not really about the joy of stitching full coverage. So started this in 2019. Used this piece for a couple of my Stitch Sania. Here's another flashback. I started sort of a different twist on Stitch Mania, where you work on one of your old WIPs for a week, and then on the weekend you get a new start if you've like completed your assignment for the week. So I used this a couple different years of like, okay, do a row. And it was stuck at pretty much 50%. So for me, full coverage is not super enjoyable unless I'm in like this very particular frame of mind, which does not occur very often. So I knew I would finish this one day because I do love the image, and when I'm in that frame of mind, I do enjoy working full coverage, but like I said, it didn't happen very often, so I was like, this is going to be a 25-year project. Well, after the Jingle Ball, there was something. Something about the exhaustion of my brain, something about needing to take like extended periods where I was not thinking about really anything. And this project fit the bill because I finished the whole thing. I finished the whole thing. I worked on this, no joke, I'm so serious. I worked on nothing but this from Thanksgiving to January 11th. Nothing but this. Like I said, I don't know what happened to me. I can't explain it. If I could put it in a bottle and sell it in my store so that when you want to get through a project, you could drink this elixir and just become totally tunnel focused and power through, I would do that for you. But yeah, so this is Red Troublemakers by RTO. This is a kit. I switched the 8 to a 16 count because this will fit, I think, in a standard size frame. I think that's why I sized it down, but again, I made this decision in 2019, so who knows? I really, really enjoyed this. Here is my slideshow because I took a picture every time I completed a row. So as you can see in my slideshow, I stitched this diagonally in 100 stitch blocks. So just as the blocks happen in the chart, I stitched it diagonally upwards. So doing this until you hit the corner, and then the diagonals start becoming smaller. And when the diagonals start becoming smaller, it was motivational. I was like, oh, we're tracing the edges here. I see the finish line in front of me, and that was very, very motivating for me, and I just powered through. I really enjoyed the RTO kit. So RTO, I would do a kit by them again. Let me show you. Here's my leftover threads. Seeing those threads go down also was very motivating. And then once you're in like the last quarter of it, you can kind of start wasting floss a little bit. Like there's less of a risk of you running out of floss because you can see how much you have left. But had enough floss for every color, didn't run out. They give you these pre-organized threads, which are great, and then you just write the symbol as they instruct you. And then I also got these little plastic holders from Amazon for my blended threads. So I would just make up a few, and they would be hanging on this separate card, and that made the blended threads go a lot quicker as well. Just finding them, having them available, replacing them when I needed to. I'm so proud of this. I stitched it mostly using my Lowry floor stand. So when the picture was smaller and it could fit on I think 10 by 10, I'm not remembering the Q-snap sizes. I was using a smaller Q-snap when the picture wasn't very big, but then once the picture got bigger, I switched to a 17 by 17 Q-snap and was able to stitch two-handed using my Lowry stand. I did not use a Q-snap corner clamp. Now, if you're a Lowry shopper, someone who's intrigued by Lowry and do I need a corner clamp? The answer is really depends on what you want, the maneuverability of your project and what size Q-snap you're using. Now, I was flipping this upside down at points. Because the Q-snap is so large, it was straining my arms to get to the top of the picture, to get furthest away from me, so I would just flip my chart upside down and flip my Q-snap upside down so that I was basically only working my arms halfway up the project. Then I would flip it and I could work the other direction. It wasn't confusing. I actually stitch upside down a lot, even when I am working in hand, and maybe I should go into why I do that. I do think it speeds up my stitching. I don't find it confusing because I flip the chart too. But anyway, conversely, if you had a Q-snap clamp, I might not have had to do the flipping back and forth, if that makes sense, because the clamp goes on the corner, so you can scoot the project closer to you, and then you can clamp the other corner and scoot it back if you need to. Anyway. That's about the Lowry stand, and more videos about the Lowry stand are forthcoming from Lindy Stitches once I have a second to edit them. But this is Red Troublemakers. I am deeply, deeply proud of this finish, and really, I don't know, I'm happy that I got that tunnel vision and just had that experience over our Christmas break. It was very relaxing. My one piece of haul came from my mother, who graciously shopped my Christmas wish list, and it's another RTO kit. This is what she got for me. Fell in love with this image. This is called Swallows. It is not as big as Red Troublemakers. Yeah, those colors. I might be starting this, you know? I don't know. It's strange to, in the space of 2 months, go from, gee, I wonder if I will ever stitch on that again, to becoming obsessed with it and working on it non-stop until it was finished. Who can explain my brain? Not me. Thanks for letting me ooh and ah over that finish. I just had so much fun. Next up is my WIP parade. Let's do it. Here are all my active projects. Unlike some other gloriously organized and ambitious people, I only have, I think, 7 WIPs right now. I had 8 until I finished Red Troublemakers. And like I said, I haven't started anything after my tunnel vision experience. So here are my WIPs at the beginning of 2024. First up is Blackbird Fractor by Plum Street Samplers. This I started on my anniversary in August this last year. It was kind of an impromptu start, just had to do something special. So I started Blackbird Fractor. This is a very fun stitch, and I think it's turning out really pretty. I'm stitching this on 32 count caramel linen by Seraphim Fabrics. Look at that glorious blackbird. Isn't he absolutely handsome? Oh my, so great. Love it. Love it, love it. So there's that WIP. Next up, oh, I put this in here because I just want to give a plug for the Tiger Lily Project Keeper. When I made a couple of these, which I made a video of my experience sewing 2 of these, Kari sells the pattern on her website. If you are handy with a sewing machine, you might want to give it a whirl. Recently took this to a day trip to Chicago, and honestly, I'm loving these. They're the perfect size. They're just a little less bulky than your, here's my Emily bag. They're just a little less bulky than your big project bag, so a little handier, takes up a little less room in a backpack. I'm loving them. But in here I have my WIP Carrot Cake by Carolyn Manning, and put a little bit of work in this on that day trip. These are nice travel projects, nice, my brain is tired after a long day of work projects, but I still want to stitch. Here's where I am on Carrot Cake. Surprisingly big. I think somewhere around here is kind of the halfway point, and then I'm about a quarter of the way done. No, that's generous. I'm not a quarter of the way done. I wish, but really lovely colors. I'm enjoying this project. I'm stitching that on 32 count Winter Moon, which is a lovely creamy linen. It's pretty much the color of DMC Ecru. We all know what color that is. Next up, I'm hoping to finish this project this year, is Garden Sampler by Carriage House Samplings. This has provoked many a customer buying this pattern on our website, because it's awesome. I am this far. Stitching this on Spearmint by Forbidden Fiber Co., which is just a nice light green, and I'm working my way down that second vine, and I got to the daisy, and then I'm also trying to fill in the bottom dirt. So I really, this is not that far from being finished. Hoping to finish that by spring, you know, spring, summer garden season, I'm gonna want this done. Next up, the WIP I have the least amount of progress on. Started this on a whim. This is Autumn Pin Drum by Kathy Barrick, and love this pattern. Just love that owl on top of the orange house, the orange brick house. Absolutely amazing. I love the smoke billowing out. It's just so clever. I am stitching this on Mystic Fabrics Veteris, I think is how you say it. And there's just, you know, big long dangly thread. Lovely. Like, you couldn't have finished that stuff? Really? No, apparently not. Here's where I am. Not very impressive. Needs some work. Needs some attention. I have 3 fallish WIPs out of 7, which is kind of a lot. Carrot Cake I would call a-seasonal. That one doesn't really say a season to me. Garden Sampler says spring and summer. And then I have 3 fall WIPs, which are not calling to me at all. I don't know if it's just I'm becoming more seasonal or what, but I just don't want to work on my fall WIPs. I will later in the year. Here is Pumpkin House by Liz Mathews, and I have big plans for this. And I haven't told you what they are, but you are going to be very impressed, okay? I'm working that top half pretty much as charted, and I'm using Stream by Fiber on a Whim, which is a pretty nice blue. I don't remember what, I think she used a Picture This Plus. Not sure, but this is a pretty similar color. And here's where I am so far. I'm on that second roof under the pumpkins, and we're having fun. And I can't wait till this calls to me again, because, like I said, big plans and lots of enjoyment to be had. All right, we're already at my last WIP. This is the world's shortest and least exciting WIP parade in the world. All right. My last WIP is what I have been working on since I finished Red Troublemakers. So this has gotten a couple weeks. As I was wrapping up Red Troublemakers, I was thinking about what am I going to work on next. I told myself as I was stitching that if you finish this, you can start whatever you want. And then when I finished it, I really wasn't in a starting mood. I was being called by Forest Home by the Blue Flower. I'm stitching this on 32 count, Spending Amnesia by Mystic Fabrics, and this is just looking so gorgeous that I cannot stop. I cannot stop working on this. Further motivation has been that I found the perfect Mary Oliver quote to put in the middle box. It's so good. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, because I like to be a woman of mystery, but here is my Forest Home. Look at it and please admire. Totally fantastic. I mean, this was the retreat piece. Jeannine and I both did the same retreat. We did the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit. What year was it? Last year? The year before? Who knows? But we were like co-hosts, and this was her piece, and I saw the model in person. Of course, I thought it was really cute, wanted to start it right away. It took me a while to get it started. My point is, like, I've seen her model, but like my own project, it's just like stunning. I'm not saying mine is better. I'm saying, like, did I forget how stunning it was? Why didn't I start it right away? The colors, the animals, it's just so perfect. I love it. I love it so much. Forest Home by Jeannine McGowan. thus concludes my WIP parade, and that felt so short. But yeah, my creative brain spends a lot of energy in my business, so I guess that's why my personal projects are few and far between. Moving on, I had a couple Valentine's releases, so I will show you those now. I'll be quick about it because I think you've already seen them. But first up is Snack Bar, and this was finished by Helen Daly, so thank you, Helen. She made an adorable little stand-up for me. This is stitched on Vintage Rose Lugana. That's the cousin of Vintage Country Mocha, only it's a pink. So it's a very fun fabric to stitch on. This is just two adorable bears loading up at the snack bar. Did you know bears eat a prodigious amount of acorns? They are one of their favorite foods. They have a high fat content, so they're really good for bears that are looking to bulk up. So here's Snack Bar. I love it. I just think it's sweet, and it doesn't necessarily have to be Valentine's. I know there's red leaves, which would indicate fall, so, you know, it's just, they're bears for all seasons, really. And then I also had the February release for my Airmail series, which judging by how things are going on my end, the Airmail series continues to grow in popularity. I continue to get people who are purchasing the past month's patterns, I'm assuming because they hadn't seen them before, or I don't know, something tipped the scale, but thank you for your enthusiasm about the Airmail series, especially February. Now, February's model is the rose-breasted cockatoo, also more commonly known as a gala. Now, when I chose this bird, I chose it because, number one, it was pink, and I wanted a pink bird for February. Number two, has such a cute expression and hairdo. Love that. Wanted to do some sort of parrot in the series. I'm kind of trying to do different sizes of birds, different species of birds, not just songbirds. We all love our songbirds, but I wanted a wide variety. I wanted really colorful and fun birds to stitch. So wanted to include a parrot, and when I saw this pink, cockatoo, I fell in love with her. Now, I did not know when I chose this, stitched it. When I was formatting the pattern, I went to look for a little bit of information about this bird that I had chosen. Did not realize it is the most widespread common bird of Australia. So this is like what, your American robin over there? Your northern cardinal? What? I am so jealous of my friends down under and your backyard birds. Like if I saw a rose-breasted cockatoo like perched on my porch, I would completely lose it. I know they're noisy and boisterous, and I'm sure some people find them annoying and like they're pests. I've heard that they can be pests, but come on, this is awesome. So if you have these in your backyard, can you just take a moment and imagine that you are from northern Indiana and that you have never seen anything so absolutely large and friendly and funny ever? So maybe that's why this pattern has been so popular. It's a well-known bird down under, and you received it well. But yes, immediately sold out of the Lady Dot finishing kits. It was crazy. So yes, there's Airmail number 6. We're halfway through. Why does that make me sad? I always like to show you the side view because for me this series is all about how much fun can we have with color, and we're having fun. I know I said I'd be quick, but I just can't help it. March, May, September, July, November, and February. My next new release was the Endangered Species Club. The first pattern came out and it shipped out a few days ago, so if you ordered a full kit, you should be getting that in the mail shortly. The Endangered Species Club is a total joy for me. Thank you so much if you joined. To be able to design and research and look at these beautiful treasures, knowing that they're going to stitchers who also are passionate about animals and wildlife, is a high privilege, and I thank you for giving me the opportunity. The first release was the Amur leopard. That is the rarest cat in the world. They are critically endangered. Yeah, there's like a sad element of this whole thing that is sometimes hard to deal with. But yeah, here's the Amur leopard. He's been very well received, and I thank you for your enthusiasm. I just adore how this pattern came out. So there's two versions of the club. One is digital, so you just get the digital pattern, and one is a kit. The Endangered Species Club, unlike my last club, the Bird Crush Club, is a not bi-monthly. I always want to say that, but that's not what that means. It's an every other month club. So there's only 6 shipments in this club. Monthly seemed to be a little bit overwhelming for some of the Bird Crush Club members. And I know, I get it. I've had monthly stuff come to me in the mail, and it's always shocking at how quickly a month goes by. And you're like, I know how it can start to pile up and feel overwhelming. So we decided to do this every other month, especially because the patterns are a little bit bigger. So didn't want to be overwhelming and also didn't want to make it super expensive. So there's 6 installments to the Endangered Species Club. The digital membership gets a black and white pattern, a color pattern, and they're both pattern keeper friendly. And the physical kit version of the membership gets this really high quality pattern. And excuse me while I toot my own horn, but I think this is the best model photo I've ever taken. It looks so good. One of my goals for this year is to improve my designs and improve my photography. I always want to improve, that's always true, but I really want to hone in on, I want this to be really good, and I want the photo to be really good. I am guilty of, the photos are hard for me to take I don't know, they're not my favorite part. But look at this. If I will just take more time, go slower, and not be stressed out, I think the result really speaks for itself. So that's one of my goals for this year, and I took a long time formatting this to make sure it was really high quality. So there's pattern information, and then there's information about the leopard so that you can get a little info about what you're stitching and why they are endangered. Beautiful. Anyway, and then there's resources to learn more. Really liked how this turned out. It's a nice big stitchable chart. So you also get a sticker, which looks like this, and 4 skeins of overdyed floss, which are called for in the pattern. The rest are DMC. So in the kit, you're getting all the specialty flosses that you will need to stitch it. So for the Amur leopard, it would be this color. See that? That's a variegated floss that you just make that wood effect with. And then also his coat is Weeks Dye Works chickpea, and that gives it a nice variegation. But Yeah, that's the Endangered Species Club. If you're interested in joining, the links will be down below. All right, got my computer out because now it is time for our special segment, which will be reoccurring, called Nashville Shopping List. Because it is time to begin the Nashville Needlework updates. We're going to be updating you on Lindy Stitches about what is coming out, what you should be excited for. We begin with the most guilty person of Nashville Needlework Market, the vendor who sets panic into the rest of us like no one else, and her name is Jeannine McGowan. I'm halfway kidding. I love Jeannine. She's great. But do you know what she does? She lists her previews before anyone else does, causing the rest of us mild panic attacks because, you know, some of us are still stitching our models, Jeannine. Oh no, she's totally ready. She's got everything out. So we're going to begin the Nashville Shopping List segment with none other than Jeannine McGowan of the Blue Flower, who has released such good things. I mean, just take your socks off right now. Take them off. Take them off. Before we get started, I would like to let you know that Lindy Stitches will be regularly updating our 2024 Nashville Market pre-order page on the website. Now, if you want to pre-order anything from Lindy Stitches, go ahead and do it. We will be combining pre-orders. So if you, Susie, decide to place 2 or 3 pre-orders that are, end up being separate transactions, it's going to be no problem at all for us to merge your order and to refund any extra shipping charges. Awesome, right? Also, Lindy Stitches has a wish list feature. So if you go to lindystitches.com and you want to go ahead and make a wish list with all the things maybe you're interested in from Nashville, maybe not, use it to weed down, like some things you're mildly interested in, but then once everything comes out, you might knock a few things off your list. No big deal. Put it on your wish list. Send it to your friends if your birthday is sometime soon. But it's just a nice feature to keep track of what you're most interested in from the Nashville Needlework Market. So without further ado, let's go through Jeannine of the Blue Flowers' fantastic new patterns. First up, you guys are going totally gaga over this pattern. It is In Praise of Pollinators. This is a absolutely gorgeous pattern full of pollinators. Jeannine says it celebrates many of the pollination heroes of the world, native bees, as well as birds, insects, and mammals who do the essential work of pollinating the natural world. So let's give these creatures a little bit of appreciation. This is fantastic. It's stitched on 40 count Stormy Night linen by Zweigert. It's not huge because it doesn't hit the 200 mark. It's 165 by 195. And also, good news, there's only 3 overdyes needed to complete this pattern. We went ahead and made up floss packs because we know you guys are gonna want to kit up this pattern. It has just 3 overdyes, Weeks Dye Works Guacamole, Classic Colorworks Chili Pepper, and Classic Colorworks Caramel. Those look like this. The rest are all DMC, so very easy to kit up. That pattern is In Praise of Pollinators. I mean, I absolutely love it. Next up from Jeannine, we have Seasons of the Heart. This is a series by the Blue Flower. She did all 4 seasons previously. You know the 4 seasons. I don't need to list them. This is a different version. Absolutely love this. This one is called Hearts for Pam. This was originally released for a fundraising project for Pam of Cottage Garden Threads. Am I saying that correctly? Yes, Cottage Garden Threads. It's stitched on 40 count peacock linen by XJU Design, but that looks like a nice medium color blue linen, which is not hard to find if you didn't want to use the called for. And it uses some Cottage Garden threads. It's 101 wide by 80 high, so a nice pillow size. Next up, we have Hedgehog and Hyacinth. This is an absolutely adorable pattern. So quick to stitch up. I'm sure it's only 55 by 59. It's on 40 count light khaki linen from XG Design, but that just looks like a nice neutral if you want to find something in your stash. This is a very inexpensive pattern. It's only $8, and geez, it's adorable. Can you believe we have 3 more? Jeannine, you're killing us. All right, next up is Tudor Hair. Tudor is a series that Jeannine has done. She's previously released Tudor Ermine and Tudor Bee. There might be another one I'm forgetting. Here is Tudor Hair. This one is stitched all in DMC. Maybe that's good news for you. It's 59 by 107 high, and it's stitched on 40 count Cocoa from Fiber on a Whim. Absolutely adorable. Love the pattern. Love the colors in that one. That one is joined by another in the Tudor series called Tudor Hound. Oh boy. We know Jeannine loves her greyhounds, and how adorable is this vertical pillow. It looks like it uses some of the same colors as Tudor Hair. It also uses all DMC, so easy to kit up, and it's 107 wide by 59 high. Oh, I love it. Stitched on the same linen as Tudor Hair, 40 count Cocoa by Fiber on a Whim. And then our last Nashville shopping list update is this awesome finish called Bees in the Garden. I'm going to show you a few different pictures of this finish because obviously it's 3D. You can't show the whole thing at once. Very, very beautiful. This one also celebrates little pollinators in the greenhouse. So each little panel has a gorgeous flower with a little bee or insect. It's so cute. This one is 300 wide by 102 high, and it's stitched on 40 count front chip green by Fabrics by Stephanie. Looks like the floss is all DMC, so that's cool. Now you're wondering, how on earth will I figure out how to finish that? Good news, all the instructions are on Jeannine's website, The Blue Flower. Boy, if that is an indicator of how awesome this year's market is, I don't know how we're all going to handle it. I really don't. I'm so very excited. Nashville is going to be great. Stay tuned for more updates because there's lots more to come. If you're not so video update minded, don't forget to sign up for my newsletter down below. We're also going to be sending that out more frequently with Nashville coming up. One last little announcement. My next retreat will be the Stitch and Stay retreat in Kansas City, Missouri, hosted by Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher in May. If you're interested in joining the retreat, there are a few spots left. I will put the link down below. I'm going to be teaching a really fun class there and enjoying your company. I'm also bringing a little traveling needlework store with me, which will be a lot of fun. Hey, if you stayed around to the end of this video, you really must have missed me, or you are very bored in life. I want to give away a $25 Lindy Stitches gift card. All you have to do is tell me your favorite color of over-dyed floss down below. Don't forget to tell me what brand it is. One of mine is Tennessee Red Clay by Classic Colorworks. I don't know. I really love that color. Tell me yours down below and I will draw a name before our next video, which should be coming out soon. So don't forget to leave a comment. And I'll give one lucky person $25, maybe to spend on a Nashville pre-order. Am I right? So excited. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate all of you. Don't forget about the Superb Owl Stitch-In. Would love to see you there if you don't watch the other commonly watched thing on that night. I need to practice my snack recipes. Love you guys.